Nurse Erica and I have some exciting news. It happens to be that our 100th episode is coinciding with Nurses Week. I mean, all the stars are aligning, right, Erica?
Yeah, it's kismet. Like, you couldn't plan that better, and we did not plan this. We just realized. So
yeah, so we want to give back to you guys. We want to give back to everybody and say a thank you. So we're going to be doing a big giveaway of sorts, and we're going to have a giveaway for our patrons, and we're also going to have a giveaway for the followers, just the followers that listen to the podcast. So how you're going to enter is you're going to go to Facebook and look up Nurses Uncorked on our Facebook page. At the top of the page, we're going to have some instructions on a few basic, easy things for you to do. And then once you've done it, you just type done in the comment section and you will be enrolled in the giveaway. That way it gives us a chance to grow our social media platforms a little bit more. We're not trying to trick you here. And then you can also enroll in the giveaway. And so we will announce the winners of the giveaway. We're going to be adding a lot of companies, and we will be announcing that as the time comes up as to what's involved in the giveaway. And we'll announce it the week of Nurses Week.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Nurses Uncorked. Welcome to Nurses Uncorked, where we pop the cork on everything in healthcare.
I'm your host, Nurse Jessica Seitz.
And I'm Nurse Erica.
On Nurses Uncorked, you get real, unfiltered facts and plenty of laughs.
Please follow us wherever you listen to podcasts, and don't forget to rate, review, and download.
Become a member of our winery, where you get early access to the podcast, bonus episodes, ad-free content, and much more.
Now sit back, relax, and pour yourself a glass
as we uncork the truth in nursing. Welcome back to Nurses Uncorked. We have got an episode for you today that I'm excited about this one. It's me, Nurse Jessica, Nurse Erica, and we are going to dive into a YouTube video today here in just a minute that you've probably never seen, or maybe you have.
If you haven't seen it.
But before we get into what it is, but if you're a nurse, you may not like this podcast because you're going to get a little angry. Yeah. But let's have a drink first.
Yes. Erica. Okay. Continuing my Buzz Balls chillers. I think this is the third time I've done one of these over the last couple years, but I'm so excited about this one because it's a pineapple colada. And you know, I like any kind of alcoholic fruity drink beverage that has pineapple. Literally, you cannot go wrong with pineapple in a drink. So opening that up, and it's just a little tiny, it's like the size of a tennis ball if you can't see it. And yes, I have a straw.
Always reminds me of Britney Spears buying Buzz Balls at a gas station.
I know. That's good. Yeah, it tastes like kind of like a pina colada. It does. They're strong though. These are strong.
Well, cheers, Erica.
Woo! Cheers.
Cheers.
Yum. This is like getting ready for summer. Feels very summery.
Summery and refreshing. Well, you know what's not refreshing is this story.
This guy. Tell
boy,
him.
oh boy, oh boy. Well, I'll tell you, I know who this is. Erica's got most of the notes. We brought this up about a couple months ago, and we've been meaning to do this story on the podcast, and just other things have come up. So there's this very popular YouTuber. His name is Papa Meat. On YouTube. He's got 2.83 million subscribers on YouTube. And he came out with a video about a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago. And the video is called Nurses Are Trying to Kill You.
Yep.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yep.
And he dives into stories of things that have gone on social media. Some we agree with, some we don't, and we're going to break them down. But this video alone has had 55,000 likes on it. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a doozy.
It is. He says in the beginning of the video, amongst many other offensive things towards nurses, he says, listen, some nurses are out to get you. He calls us catty bitches. He's perpetuating the whole, what is it? Nurses were bullies in high school, that whole thing. And then he tries to back it up with, I'm not hating on nurses. Yes, you are. You clearly are. You made an entire YouTube hating on nurses. You can't throw in
and
one
it's called
sentence.
Nurses Are Trying to Kill You.
Exactly.
Not some nurses.
Yeah.
Not all nurses is what it sounds like.
Yeah. So I had never heard of him before, but he obviously has a huge following. Jessica sent me the YouTube and she's like, you're going to want to watch this, but like, it's going to piss you off. And it did. Boy, it did.
It's about a 30-minute YouTube. So you probably should listen to it, but we're going to break it down for you here if you don't want to.
We'll link it in the description. And I'll say, you know, like the last thing I want to do is really bring him more attention. I kind of hate that. But at the same time, I really want to dispute some of these that he mentions. So
I think we should dive into the first one that's hard to dispute.
Okay.
I think we might want to start there.
All right. The first one, you guys may have seen. You may have seen a lot of these in the news, actually. A few months ago, a quote-unquote nurse was posting videos on social media twerking on top of a couple of different patients' heads. Yes, you heard me right. Twerking on top of their heads. One was sitting in the bathtub. She's like balanced over him. I think one was in a wheelchair. She's literally like kind of sitting on their head, dancing suggestively.
Okay, let's break it down. She's putting her vagina on the top of their head. Okay,
yeah.
that if you sitting like a spider frog with their legs and gyrating and twerking up and down on this disabled patient's head that looks like they're half asleep to give you a better visual. Okay, Erica was being nice there. And then proceeding to put their medications into their mouth as they're twerking like or dancing.
It's bad. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. And she was terminated and charged with exploitation of a disabled person. Here's the part he conveniently left out.
What?
She's not a nurse.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What is she?
She's a 19-year-old CNA, and her mom owns the company.
Why is the CNA putting pills in their mouth? Are they allowed to?
Yeah, that's an issue. No, they're not allowed to. No, that's an issue. I mean, the whole thing is an issue. It's highly inappropriate. She should probably lose her CNAs have a state certification, nursing assistant certification, but they are not nurses and they do not hold a license. And yet he is presenting it as she is a nurse. Now, I'm not defending anything she did, but she's not a nurse.
She's she's not like an RN. She's a nursing assistant. It is different, but he didn't quite distinguih that part of it, which I do think that is important.
It is.
I do think that this CNA is an idiot. In saying that the patient asked for it. Okay, the disabled patient
asked for you to twerk on his head.
I don't care what he said. So, if he told you to go jump off of a bridge, one of the highest bridges in the world, would you go do it? I mean,
and you're saying two different patients, because I think it was two different patients, allegedly asked you coincidentally to twerk on their head. Like, what are the astronomical chances?
I mean, I will agree with the man. The video's disgusting. The man
terrible.
Is shirtless. It looks like some weird twisted fetish. It's very, very disgusting. And of course it went viral. I mean, because why wouldn't it go viral? But it just looks bad. I mean, and I think that's what she was going for. She thought she was going to get like some huge notoriety, and instead she got put in the popo.
Yeah, and she even doubled down after it blew up, saying like, you're not seeing the whole story. It's not always what it appears. What is it then? You're twerking and you did it twice. Like, yes, it is.
You have placed your vagina on a bald man's head. Okay.
I was a CNA and have given a ton of baths because one of them, he's sitting in a bathtub. Not once have I ever hovered.
You didn't straddle the tub?
Their head in the bathtub.
Erica, think of the exercise you could have gotten.
I know.
You could have done squats.
For
and
real.
just kind of done a workout side. Maybe that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was doing exercises, if you will, and trying to teach him how to do these squats, if you will.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Uh,
Bad,
okay.
but bottom line, not a nurse.
Yeah. And she
All
was
right.
charged, right, Erica, with something?
Yeah, exploitation of a disabled person, and she was terminated, which I'm sure her mom only did under duress because the whole world was like, the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so that was one of his first examples of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think she was trying to kill him with the dancing, but
No, that's a stretch.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. All right. The next one was probably a video you may have seen on TikTok. It was viral and it was a trend. It's a trend called giving your icks, meaning like the things that just make you annoyed, your icks. So there was 4 nurses in labor and delivery at Emory University in Midtown. Where's Emory at? I don't remember. Okay. Anyway, it's Emory University. And so they recorded an ick video for TikTok while they were on the job. Mistake number 1. Okay. And gave their icks. Now,
labor and delivery.
Yes, for labor and delivery nurses. Now, while I can relate to some of these annoying things that these nurses have said, again, people, use your common sense. It's not a good idea to you don't want to put your inner thoughts out on social media necessarily like that. You might want to just keep it to yourself or chat about it at, with your nurse friends. But one of the icks was that they get annoyed when the patient's family members keep asking for water and blankets. Okay.
Yeah. It's annoying. It is. Find me a nurse that doesn't find that annoying, because here's what they do. They come up. They don't turn on the call light like they should. They come up to the nurse's station. You're clearly on the phone in the middle of charting something, looking something up, and they just stare at you. And then when you finally acknowledge them, can Mima please have some ice? Sure, I'll bring it in just a minute. You did it. You bring it in, you go back, and then 5 minutes later, can Mima please have a blanket? And this goes on and on. Like, could you cluster this shit the same way you do for a waitress?
It's for them. That's the part that annoys me, is like when they're constantly asking, like as if they're at a Holiday Inn. And they're like, I've had them, can you bring me some juice? Like,
oh yeah, all the time.
No, I mean, it just gets on, sure, of course it gets on your nerves. But when you phrase it like that and somebody sees you saying that, okay. Their second ick was about pain medication. So they were saying they did not like when patients say they're going to go have a natural childbirth, okay, and they're not going to need an epidural, but yet they're already screaming in pain at like the very beginning of the labor process.
What do you think?
And they're thinking to themselves, you're not going to make it. Sure, in our mind, we think these things.
Yeah.
Tell me one labor and delivery nurse that hasn't, that you've barely started their induction and they are already acting like it's the end. And you're like, whoa, do you know what you're going to be like in 12 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we think these things. We think them.
Of course.
But you have to allow people the opportunity to go through it as they want to. They can reach their own conclusions eventually. And while you know that 99% are going to come to that conclusion, that they want the epidural, and then they're going to be screaming at you that you're not doing it fast enough, that you're not getting it to them quick enough. We know that there are those people that do make it and they continue on, and it is a woman's right to choose to do with her body however she wants, and she can learn her lesson if she wants, and that's okay. So that was not taken well.
Not at all.
At all. This one's kind of funny. The other nurse, I'm sorry, it is when a baby daddy has 2 moms in labor, and we've seen this a lot, and they're going between the 2 rooms.
I mean, drama. Like our jobs are filled with enough drama. Like, we don't need your social shit, bleeding into
mean,
work.
it is annoying. I'm sorry, that is annoying. Now, are you going to treat them any differently? No. Are you going to be mean to the baby daddy?
No.
Because he's but I kind of get that one. It's like, dude, come on.
Honestly, I get all of them. I don't think that anything they said
Oh, I
does
get
not
it too.
resonate with every nurse out there, even if you're not L&D. Like every nurse in every specialty could do their icks, you know?
I get it. I get it too. And we all have them. That's what I was saying. We think all of them. But I guess what I was trying to say is that might be, of the three I've named so far, that might be the one that, like, if you weren't a nurse, that you might be like, yeah, I get that too. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Yeah.
kind of trashy. I don't know. Maybe not. And then I think the last one was about, it was something else about people just repetitively coming to the desk or whatever. So they're all just things that we all think and do, but they got in big trouble.
Well, the mistake they made was posting this publicly. Like, I know it's funny, I know it's a trend, but I've been saying this for 6 years now on social media. Stop posting videos at work. You're asking for trouble. You're going to get fired. And as specifically this one, like, you're making the hospital look bad. Why would, and this is their argument, why would people want to come and deliver here knowing all the nurses are judging them? Like, this is just common sense. Don't post that shit online, people. Come on.
The thing is, when you listen to this man on the YouTube, he's like, oh, poor nurse. You have to actually take care of your patient and bring him a plate. Like, he's really mean about it. Like,
he is an asshole.
I mean,
he's just an asshole consistently from the beginning to the end of his YouTube.
He is good at what he does, is what I will say.
Yeah, he's
he
like
has
one
a way
of shock jocks.
Yeah, but has a way of, like, yeah, like, he says things that are so, like, I don't want to say vulgar, but it's just very animated and very jaw-dropping that he gets the views, you know? So he is good at what he does. But of course the nurse is going to get the blanket and is going to get you your water and get you your ice chips. Yeah, they're going to do all of these things. We're just talking like we talk. Just like somebody that works customer service probably gets fucking annoyed at the repetitive questions that they get about the same shit over and over.
Yeah. I'm sure he does it too for his job. He's got annoyances, and that's okay for him to talk about online, so, you know, publicly, but the nurses do it, and it's the end of the damn world. Yeah, they just made a mistake by putting it online, and I think they were all terminated, which I honestly think is too far, but yeah, it's predictable. I've been saying it for years. You will be terminated, and you will not win that if you try to appeal. You will not, because it's always going to be a violation of the social media policy. I think personally they should have had, like, progressive discipline, maybe been suspended, but you're going to be terminated 99% of the time. Yep. I think it's an overreaction, but what they did was wrong. It was wrong. And here's the other thing. You're judging them through the lens of, like, you know, a waitress. Oh, poor waitress is complaining about, you know, having to go get things separately, whatever. You do well, he clearly doesn't, Papa Meat, understand. Like, we're literally dealing with life and death situations, like extremely urgent situations. So when you take away our time for frivolous things unnecessarily because you feel the need to come up to us 5 separate times instead of clustering your thoughts and requests. Right. Yeah. That means that potentially someone is not getting the care that they need. It's a big deal. It is. And we have a right to be annoyed with that. Yeah. Or he's not understanding also that majority of the time we're getting yelled at that we didn't get there fast enough to do the blanket or to do the ice. And they're thinking that we're just not doing it because we're lazy or we don't feel like it. But so nurses do get a bad rap, I think, in the media because of that. They do. I mean, it's seen as like, I've been asking for 30 minutes. Where's my tray? You know, because your tray's not a freaking priority. Yeah, it's like I'm doing compressions on somebody, but people just don't get that. So when they hear that we complain about it without understanding the backstory, it makes us look bad. So just it's the only way I can freaking explain it. Yeah. So that was that one, and they got fired. And that was in Emory is in Atlanta, Georgia. I just okay. All right. So I think the next one in his video was Filipino quote unquote nurse, as he presents it, named Juliana Villafuerte, where she set up the phone to record herself in the bathroom at work, crying and talking about a patient flatlining. And the patient's family members came to the ER weeping And that's when it hit her how life is just so short. Okay, here's the thing that he neglected to include. She's a nursing student in another country. But that didn't fit his narrative, so he left that part out, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Now, I remember doing a video about this when it happened in 2024, I think. I mean, it was cringy. It was ridiculous. Like, I question anyone who sets up their camera
to cry,
to cry, to capture the moment. Like,
yeah, like
really?
You're bawling your eyes out and you're like,
but wait, let me just set this and get the perfect angle and let me, yeah.
And you're thinking, the music, what music can I put with this?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
And they sit on the floor with their hand.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a little cringe. I'm not.
It is. But she's a nursing student in another country, and you're looping her in to essentially American nurses. Like, that's what you're judging here. She's not a nurse yet.
She's bullied to death over this. Like, bullied. Do you remember
not that
that?
I condone bullying, but like, come on, that was inappropriate. It was, and I don't know how she's still in school, because if I had done that in my nursing program, there would have been no conversation. It would have been like, you are now excused from the program.
Oh yeah. What the hell were you thinking? Recording while you were in clinicals or whatever the hell you were doing. Yeah.
And she records like not just in the bathroom, but like in the hospital. I think there was something with the flat line or something that the asystole she's recording. Like, yeah, totally inappropriate. I don't know what their policies are in Filipino nursing schools, but like here, that would not fly.
I don't know about that either, but no, that wouldn't fly. That wouldn't fly here. Again, she's not trying to kill her patient. Nurses are not trying to kill you, but that title gets views. It definitely gets the views. But again, nursing student, not a nurse.
And none of them so far have been trying to kill a patient, for the record, right?
No. Yeah. Just violate the top of their bald head, but you know, that's all.
And not a nurse, again. Okay. Jessica, do you think that dental offices have to deal with terrible smells as much as like where nurses typically work?
Oh gosh. I mean, I would think that they probably get some doozies. I'm sure that they do, maybe with like people that get the stuff stuck in their tonsils, halitosis. I mean, it could be pretty stinky. Why?
Well, the reason I ask is because our lovely sponsor at Stink Bomb Odor Blocker recently sent me a new shipment of her new scents, and they didn't arrive to my P.O. box. And when I confirmed the address, she had sent it to the wrong suite number. Oh. And so I went to that suite number, and it's a dental office. And they're like, oh, that's yours? Yeah, we have it right here.
Did they give it back? Did they give it back?
A couple of the packages of Stink Bomb odor, like they kept that clearly. So I know y'all have to deal with some halitosis, and I just hope that it's working for you, because I know Stink Bomb Odor Blocker is an amazing product that blocks all of the smells for healthcare workers. So I hope it's working for you too.
Head to stinkbombodorblocker.com and use code Uncorked15 and get 15% off. Don't steal it like the dental offices did.
Jessica, we are quickly approaching our 100th episode of Nurses Uncorked.
Whew! I can't believe it, man. I can't believe that I've tolerated you this long. Damn.
Really?
I love you. You know I gotta pick on you.
I know.
Happy 100! Can you believe it?
That's a huge milestone. So many podcasts do not make it to this point, you know?
No.
So we're going to do several things to celebrate. But one of the things we're going to do is Friday, April 25th at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are going to do a private Zoom party for our patrons.
Yeah, become a member of the winery. It's a little exclusive group that we do all sorts of bonus things for our patrons because they help give back to us. They help support the podcast so we can keep going. And we do our own Zoom parties. They have early release of the episodes a day early. They get bonus episodes just about every Thursday and all sorts of different stuff. They just get to hear a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've ever wondered, this is the time to become a patron and come to our private Zoom party. We are going to have the wine out. We are going to be dishing all the tea and hearing what you guys want to tell us on Friday, April 25th.
So Papa Meat.
Such a ridiculous name.
Papa Meat then goes into the next story of a nurse who was stealing jewelry back in 2024 sometime off of a dementia patient and pocketed the jewelry. Right, Erica?
Yeah, I had never even heard of this. This did not sound remotely familiar, which that's always a red flag to me when I hear it, because I'm like, I'm pretty in the know with nursing news. And so if I haven't heard of it, like, is it even real? But I looked it up, and it's a 54-year-old nurse. She has been charged or was charged with 3 counts of abuse, neglect, and exploitation of the elderly, 3 counts of robbery, aggravated assault. Allegedly stole a gold chain link bracelet from a 95-year-old patient that was worth $1,000, and allegedly stole several rings from an 84-year-old dementia patient by using hand sanitizer to slip them off her hands. And then when the patient was getting discharged home, they found that one of her fingers was dislocated, and there was a crack in the bone, and there was 4 rings missing.
She pulled hard.
She did.
Damn.
I had never heard of this. Like I said, it happened. It's real. I can't defend that. She was a nurse.
She fucked up.
That was wrong. That was terrible. Yep. Like, I can't defend that.
Yeah.
She was a nurse, but was she trying to kill the patients?
No. She just wanted Grandmama's ruby ring so that she could pay her electric bill. I don't know what her reasoning was, but damn, girl, she had some determination to pull her finger out of socket. Good God. How many times have you heard about patients that die and they steal their jewelry? Like,
that's terrible.
I'm not even talking about in the hospitals, but maybe at funeral homes or all different sorts of stuff.
I think about that with my mom, because my mom has a lot of like really old family jewelry, and she has really bad arthritis, and so she can't get like a lot of her rings off. And I'm like, what would happen with it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, but shit happens. There's bad people everywhere, and sometimes nurses are bad people. They do bad things, and this is one example of that. And luckily, she was caught. So, All right. Papa Meat then dives into another nurse that's a NICU nurse. Her name is Erin Strotman, and this was a story. I remember hearing about it. 26-year-old nurse that evidently was this is horrible. Fracturing babies' bones or clavicles. They're inflicting brokenness.
Brokenness.
Inflicting brokenness is
it's pretty bad.
Again. Yeah.
This one is still in the news because she hasn't gone to trial yet. And I think it happened in 2023 and 2024, but the story broke like December of last year. At Henrico Doctors Hospital, several infants allegedly suffered fractures. I think about 7 patients. And she's facing up to 30 years.
It's horrible.
And there was also a component of, they said that it was maybe only minority patients, I think Black babies, that she was maybe targeting. God. And she's a white nurse. And I mean, I have not.
So far, this one, I will say, fits the title of his the most. The most.
Yeah.
I will say this is horrible.
I mean, was she trying to kill? No, but I'm not going to defend these actions. Like, this is absolutely horrible.
I mean, she was definitely trying to inflict pain and cause harm. That's for sure. Which,
I mean,
what the
she
fuck?
hasn't gone to trial yet, to my knowledge. So, like, could there potentially, it's alleged, could there potentially be more information? Yeah, but I mean, on the surface, like, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And I can't defend that. But she was a nurse. Yep, she was.
Okay. Whew. Sorry, Erin. You're in for it. What's next, Erica? What else did Papa Meat talk about?
Okay, this is another one I had never heard of and had to look it up. This was in Wales, in England. Okay, so not in the U.S., but a nurse, 34-year-old nurse named Penelope Williams, allegedly was having sex in her car with a dialysis patient. You can't make this shit up.
Girl.
And was caught.
Yeah.
Caught having sex in the car, like I think in the parking lot of the dialysis clinic, cheating on her husband, clearly. Unfortunately for her, the patient had a massive MI in the middle of their episode.
Damn, he went with a bang. He
did.
Wow.
And
wow.
She didn't call 911. She called her friends and was like, what do I do? What do I do?
I'll get the shovel. I'll be right there.
And her friend, I don't know if her friends were nurses. I don't know. But they said, like, you need to call 911. And she didn't. And it's not funny. It's not funny. But like,
no, it's not funny.
You can't make this shit up.
I mean, do we really need to be banging our dialysis patient?
No.
I mean, could it have been that good? Could it have been that good?
I mean, yeah.
And in the car?
In the car.
Wow. I mean, and then how many times have you ever heard this? Like, it's like always in the movies and shit about the guy keeling over when you're having sex, and then for it to actually happen. So I don't remember how did she try to cover it up, or what happened? How did they find out?
I'm not even
she
sure.
Left him in the car?
Yeah. I mean, eventually it was like reported and found, and she was charged and all that. I mean, okay, first of all, I will say not an American nurse, first of all. Is that wrong? Yes, obviously.
Those crazy British people. They're crazy.
But like, and this is gonna I don't know how to say this without it coming across wrong. These were allegedly two consenting adults. You know,
get your freak on. Get your freak on.
Is it crossing a line professionally? 100%. Is she violating like the moral code that nurses are held to? 100%. Well, at least in the U.S.
Did she leave him there to die? 100%. 100%. Did she climax and then he croaked and she said, "Well, I'm good. See you.
Who knows?
See you later, buddy." Who knows? But I mean, you're not supposed to do harm. And while she was making him feel good, then she left him to die. Yeah. I mean, there was no attempt to save him, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And I don't know what ultimately ended up happening to her. I'm sure she lost her license and was terminated and stuff. But was she trying to kill him? No.
Not trying.
No.
She just didn't help him live.
He did, however, die.
she was praying somehow that was going to all go away.
Oh, God.
And nobody would know.
Oh, God.
How did he get to this car? Nobody knows. Why were his pants off? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
He just strolled down there. I don't know what her thinking was, but good God.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay, another one. This is such a weird one. It's so confusing. I read several articles, but I don't know if I even understand it. But it was back in 2013. Okay. Cleveland Clinic, 23-year-old nurse Andrew Martin allegedly hired a hitman for 10 grand. The hitman, I believe, was an ER patient of his. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up.
How do you get into that conversation?
Do you do
I
side know. Work? That's what I always wonder in these. Like, who broaches that conversation first?
Yeah, you look like a thug. Do you happen to take people out for a living?
Yeah.
If not, just ignore that I asked you this question.
Right. Like, how
but
do
if you
do that in the beginning? I don't know. So there was some kind of the nurse had a dispute with a former elderly patient, and had like deceptively planned to take ownership of this patient's house, used medical records to get the patient's info of their home and whatnot, passed to the property manager, faked being in a relationship with the elderly former patient, and then forged like a deed to the house. And like it went to probate. He tried to take advantage of an elderly patient, tried to steal her home. Like, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. He was ultimately sentenced to 12 years. Interestingly, I think he gets out this year.
A creative criminal, I will say.
I mean,
very, very creative.
Yeah, like insane. I don't
wait, the plan was caught before they actually carried out the hit. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think so. Yeah, he lost in probate court. I'm not quite sure how it was caught, but I mean, yeah. Like,
what did he say? They were going to die anyways.
Probably. I mean, he probably just saw like an easy target in a confused older adult. You know, like, ugh, terrible. You can't defend that. You can't.
No. I mean, and then to seek out help from a patient. I mean, when you're feeling better and you feel up to it, could you
I saw where you listed Hitman for occupation on your
I saw you
have a tear. So happens.
You have a teardrop tattoo, and I know what that means.
I thought maybe you might be open to earning some quick cash.
I actually would love to hear the details of how it happened. How, you know,
we're going to hell, and people are going to judge us for this podcast episode. I know, for laughing at this.
I'm sorry, you have to laugh at this shit or you're going to cry. But he actually was trying to kill you. Nurses are trying to kill you.
That one kind of fits the title. Yeah, I'll give you that.
One did.
I'll give you that.
That one did. That did. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not in America though.
No, that one was Cleveland Clinic.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, that one fits the bill. Fits the bill, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and Andrew Martin was his name, and allegedly gets out of prison this year. So heads up, people.
And then he'll be working at the local hospital in his area.
Well, hopefully he lost his license. I assume.
I would hope so.
Yeah, he had to have, because that's a felony. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
All right. Next story is brought up in 2022. A nurse was accused of stealing fentanyl for their own purposes and then just replacing the fentanyl with some tap water instead of the very, very potent medication.
Yeah. And there's been recently one or two other incidents like this involving different nurses. This is very, very disturbing.
The old switcheroo trick.
Yeah.
Right?
So Asante Rogue Regional Hospital, nurse named Danny Schofield, I believe it was a female nurse, stealing fentanyl, replacing IV bags with tap water, charged with 44 counts of second-degree assault. The problem is that because she used tap water and not like saline or sterile water,
we couldn't have done that.
This caused line infections, and ultimately a patient did die, and there's a wrongful death lawsuit. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they were like, how do I replace the sterile water then? The cycle would never end.
Right.
Then you got to take saline to put in the sterile water. So they just said, fuck it. I'm just
I mean, some places like the sterile water and the saline are locked up in the Pyxis. Like, you have to, put it under a patient to get it out and all that. So I'm not excusing this in any way, shape, or form. Like, as a nurse, this is wrong. This is diversion. But you also know as a nurse, this is not aseptic. You are then going to cause patients to have IV infusions of fucking tap water. Now, I don't know about the tap water where you are, but where I am in Las Vegas, every single year when they test the tap water, it comes up positive for things like rocket fuel.
Rocket man.
We should
rocket
not
fuel,
be injecting this.
rat feces, just little things like that.
Yeah. Awful.
Well, shit.
Can't defend that.
God, that's a case of drug abuse and being addicted to its highest level right there. Good
The patient
Lord in heaven.
did die. Do I think they were trying to kill patients? No. But are they 100% guilty of diversion that led to? Yes.
But
yes.
Were they leaving their patients in dire pain? Yes. Yes,
yeah,
they
that
were.
Too. Yeah, that's abuse and neglect.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? This shit ain't working. They're thinking probably like, damn. I mean, I've built up a tolerance. That's so mean, man. That's horrible.
Oh, there's no excusing it. There really isn't.
No. And I mean, I'm thinking like, they always say fentanyl like on the street, like you don't ever know what you're gonna get or how much.
Like Jake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just don't know. And this nurse is probably like, shit, I know exactly what's in here.
That's
true. This is pharmacy grade fentanyl. I'm not gonna freaking OD and die. I mean, that probably makes, well, A, it's free, and B, it's safer. Not that it's right, but I'm thinking that's probably part of their thought process. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
Uh-uh.
Whew. All right. The last one, and again, you cannot make this shit up. He presents it as 3 nurses. You see where this is going. From North Carolina in 2019. Tanisha Jordan, 28, Marilyn McKay, 35, and Tanasha Tyson, 23. Allegedly started a fight club in the nursing home between patients.
Oh, I remember this.
What the fuck? Danby House, nursing home. They like took confused dementia patients and instigated thing like, did you see her looking at you?
I should not laugh at this. This is horrible.
It's so bad. And then they recorded it so they would like be in a room with them with 2 patients and turn the lights off and encouraged them to fight each other and then uploaded the videos to YouTube. What? And can be heard on some of the recordings saying like, punch her in the face.
Rose, I heard Rose is trying to take your man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. Roses.
It's terrible.
And then she said you were ugly. I wouldn't tolerate that.
Did.
Yeah. They were making up their own little games. They were trying to get their night shift.
Fucking entertainment. Oh my God. So 70.
That's like, Erica, wait, before you tell us, do you remember the one place where they had the patients beating each other with noodles? With the pool noodles?
Like the adult version of Hungry Hippo or whatever?
And they were posting it on their Facebook like they were proud of it.
They were, I remember that.
They were like, look at this physical strength
whack-a-mole.
Training.
Whack-a-mole. There was another one with Hungry Hippo. Oh my God, they thought they were so creative. They really
from bouncing a balloon around to whacking each other in the head with a noodle. We do it all here at this assisted living facility. From mild to rough, that's how we like it here. Good God.
Oh my God.
All right, so what are the details?
These poor dementia patients, a 73-year-old and 70-year-old dementia patient, and they can be also heard on the video saying like, punch her in the face. You gonna send it to me? Yeah, I'll send you the video. Are you recording? So like clearly all 3 were in on it. They videoed these poor dementia patients choking and hitting each other.
That's horrible. They did.
Horrible.
They created their own fight club. The Dementia Fight Club.
They did. It's horrible. Here's the part he neglected to mention in his video.
What? None of them are nurses? Tell me.
Nurses!
Oh, thank God we won one. What are they? I forgot.
CNAs!
This.
They were CNAs, essentially, in like an ALF memory care facility.
I think
not nurses.
Do people hear certified nurse assistant so they assume They hear nurse in
Not
the word.
a nurse. That is
I know.
on the high end, 1 semester of
Yeah.
training. But the majority are like a 4-week, 6-week training. That's it. Whereas nurses are in school for years and years, and we're licensed and regulated. They have usually like a 4-week, 6-week training thing.
And again,
they don't, no prerequisites, like none of that.
He could have said, CNAs are trying to kill you, and not every story would have been a CNA. It would have been, a nurse or whoever else. What I'm trying to say is he's generalizing, and we obviously are not all bad. I mean,
this
Erica
is like
might be, but I'm not. Erica might beat you with a noodle. I don't know, but
I mean, depending on who you are.
Sometimes you feel like it, but
I mean, yeah, like it was clearly to get views,
and it did.
To get it, and it did. Just don't. We have enough problems in the nursing profession. Believe me, like we have more than probably any other profession out there, and we don't need your help right now making it worse. Okay, it's bad enough. So, in the very least, don't mischaracterize a lot of these incidents that were not nurses as nurses, and avoid the title of nurses are trying to kill you when it would appear that
it was only like 25% that were out of.
It was like one. It was like one, really, right?
Well, you had
one or two.
What?
It was the Hitman. Hitman. I'll give you that.
2 out of 6. 2 out of how many stories did we have? 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
I think only 1, really, maybe 2 out of 9.
The baby snapping of the bones was a little bad. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. But a lot of these were nursing students or CNAs, and not even in this country. So at least be honest, and at least recognize that you clearly do have a bias towards nurses, even though you claim you don't. You clearly do. And that this is a very minuscule percentage, not defending it, but it's a minuscule percentage of nurses that do amazing work every single day.
Yeah, I mean, he was having to find stories in other countries to fill in the gap. Yeah. So if that tells you anything. But anywho, moral of the story is I don't think we're all bad. We're good. We're good.
We're not all bad.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bad, we have an enema to give away.
We do. Who is it? I'm curious.
Well, and I encourage anybody, any of our listeners, if you would like to nominate somebody, we could possibly share it. And that is where this enema of the week that is brought to you by happybumco.com is coming from. It's from one of our listeners.
Enema of the week.
According to the Bristol stool chart, which type of stool might someone need to use an enema for? Like Happy Bumco, leader in at-home enema solutions. What do you think?
I think they probably could use it maybe for the majority on the Bristol stool chart, except maybe not diarrhea, but the majority of them, I think that they probably could.
Yeah.
But
depending on what's going on with the patient and their underlying condition.
Yeah, because the thing about Happy Bumco is it's not just for constipation. You would think an enema is only for constipation, but it's not. It's about resetting your system, balance, equalizing things, taking time out for yourself, and just all over feeling good, getting some clarity inside and out.
Yeah.
Right?
And for those that don't know, the Bristol stool chart ranks type and condition of stools. So like type 1 is severe constipation, separate hard lumps, and then it goes all the way to type 7, which is severe diarrhea.
You guys should check out happybumco.com and use code Nurses Uncorked because you'll get an additional 15% off your total purchase. From one of our listeners.
Okay.
I would like to nominate the former CEO of Crozer Keystone Health, Joan Richards, RN. She sold the system to Prospect Medical Holdings in 2016 and got $4 million on her retirement. Prospect has taken a 4-hospital system down to 2 and is threatening closure of the remaining hospitals, leaving a country of 500,000 people without a trauma center. Or could I just nominate Prospect Medical Holdings for the above noted actions?
Okay. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of messages about this one.
Have you?
Recently, yeah. I'm going to be really honest. I have not looked into it. That being said,
This is alleged by, this is a viewer's interpretation.
Correct. Yeah, I have not looked into it. I've not researched it. But typically when I get a ton of messages about the same, like there's clearly something there, right?
A pattern of something, yeah.
Yeah, like I have no doubt, in my opinion, that they have done some untoward things and are in the wrong. I couldn't go into specifics, but yeah,
if Joan Richards did this alleged accusation, it's not very nice. I agree, and it would be deserving of the Enema of the Week award. Maybe we can do a follow-up to this, Erica, and you can research it. I'm going to give Erica something else to do in her spare time.
I don't need any homework. Do you know how long my list is?
I think she could do it.
You could do it.
Maybe I'll research it on my own. I know how to research.
You do it. Yes.
I am.
You do it.
But so we'll give you a follow-up enema on the next episode.
Okay.
And we'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. Well, hopefully Papa Meat doesn't do any more nurses are trying to kill you episodes, because that was very, very special. Erica was jaw dropped, weren't you, Erica? You called me back and you were like, "What?"
I was so pissed. Like the vitriol in his voice and in what he says. Like there is so much hatred.
Yeah, you've got to. It's not that we're saying that what some of these nurses or CNAs or what they did some wrong things. We know that, but you got to watch the episode to really understand the way he has like all these cartoon graphics and shit where they're like and fucking beating people down and stuff. Like it's.
Why don't we have cartoon graphics in our videos, Jessica?
Oh, I'll start on that too. Yeah. I'll come. I did add sound effects to our opening, so that's something. I did,
and you didn't think I was going to notice, and I did.
Yeah. Well, you know. All right, guys. Until next time on the next Nurses Uncorked.